Hey Brisbane, welcome back to Full Clip Radio. You're tuning into Cruise Control with your girl Briley on the mic tonight. Almost getting dark in the studio now. Like it starts off light and then coming to my end of the show, it's dark and I love it. But I'm going to get straight back into the topic of today's show, all about acts of kindness. What act of kindness have you done? Now, some people, I just want to address this because some people are very closed about acts of kindness. Now, when you do an act of kindness, you don't really speak about it. You don't tell everyone this is what I did. But that's not what I'm really getting at. I'm just emphasizing the fact that there are beautiful people out there, and even letting you guys know and educating everyone of some acts of kindness that you can do to pay it forward, to really help people out that are less fortunate than you, or even if you're like Erin, help a turtle out. So we can do that. I also want to give a big shout out to Ted, who commented in saying he stopped on the side of the Gateway motorway, this is in Brisbane, at midnight because a guy broke down, and he helped him get to the petrol station to get some petrol. Little things like that. And I know I've seen people break down all the time, and everyone just passes and keeps passing, and no one really helps them out. I've helped one person out once back in Perth, Western Australia, who was stuck on the side of the motorway, pretty much the same situation. So it's especially when you've got no fuel, like what can you do apart from calling family or friends? But I mean, if someone's passing and is just right there who can get to you quickly and even quicker than your family or your friend, it's easy enough to do that. Also, I want to shout out to Sketch, who posted in saying, it's really long, so I'm going to break this down. Basically, there's this old woman who always walks around the Browns Plains area, and she's always going through the rubbish bin all the time, and he always sees her. He never really does anything about it, but he couldn't stop thinking about her, and she kind of reminded him of his own grandmother. So he actually went out looking for her one night. So he sees her all the time, and I think this is with acts of kindness as well, is when you see things happening, you don't do anything about it, and then you go home and you really think about it, and you really think, should I have done that, or could I have done that something better, or could I have done something to help someone out? And I know there's a lot of people out there that do that. So Sketch has gone home, had to think about it, decided he's going to go out and look for this lady, and he's found her, and all wet but not bothered. So he told her to just wait, and he went to go buy her some KFC, and he came out and she wasn't there. So I mean, some acts of kindness you do for people and they don't really realize what you're doing, but she wasn't there. She's an elderly lady. He eventually ended up looking for her again and found her and gave her the KFC along with some money, and didn't know what her situation is, but it broke his heart to see someone of her age, 50 plus, to go through rubbish to make ends meet. So every time I see her, maybe once a week, I give money and offer her food. She has a foreign accent and she won't let me take her home. So I just try and do as much as my pockets can take me. I didn't want to ask for her name for no reason at all. I just don't want to know. So I think that's really beautiful to do things like that. And I mean, if you're going to keep doing it, that's even better. And especially with homeless, I know lots of people definitely do things for the homeless and things like that. I've definitely done, I've been to a volunteer event where I was in the kitchen just making meals for the homeless back in Perth, Western Australia, and I really want to do something for the homeless in Brisbane. I haven't yet done it this year, but I think coming up to Christmas this year, I definitely want to reach out to the homeless people and maybe even give them presents or make them something to eat, because there are people out there that are so much less fortunate than you, and it really makes us appreciate everything that we have. Shout out to Alexi in Perth, Western Australia. I shared my umbrella with someone who doesn't have one. Nice and basic and simple, and I love that. I love acts of kindness like that. Especially with me. I'm on the other hand, I swear every time I go out and it's raining and I end up having to walk somewhere, I never ever have an umbrella on me, and I don't think anyone shares. I just kind of invite myself into their umbrella. But that's a simple act of kindness that goes a long way, because no one wants to be wet and standing out in the rain, especially if you've just straightened your hair. Also, he helped a lady get up the escalator because the lift was out of order. So that's a nice one, especially elderly people. They always get me. It's elderly people and children, and you just want to help them out all the time. And another listener has just typed in now, make a group of kids on the train stand so that this pregnant lady and her little daughter could sit down. For someone to make a group of people stand is beautiful. But to me, those kids should have known already to stand up for a pregnant woman and her child. But I think that's great. I think if you can tell someone, hey, get up out of your seat, there's a pregnant woman and a child that needs to sit down, that's even better. Also want to shout out to Melvin, just simply catering for anyone's needs, like giving all my spare change to a person lying on the street begging and sharing a smile with everyone. That's beautiful. And I said that before. It's not even just about giving and money and material, like not materialistic things, but food and stuff. But a simple smile can go a long way. And we all know that smiles are very contagious. I'm going to get straight back into the music. Going to come back because we have more to talk about. I want to keep hearing your acts of kindness. Right now, I'm going to play a popular hit all about that bass. Megan, it's on Full Clip Radio's Cruise Control. Driving you home Monday to Friday 4 till 6.